colors. We're happy and we're singing and we're brothers. Give me a high five.
Hey, what's up?
You're listening to the Kyle and Craig Show.
Where we talk about music, sports, and the world around us.
My name is Kyle.
And I'm Craig.
Your brothers? No. Yes!
Hey guys, what's up? You're listening and or watching the March 15th episode of the Kyle and Craig Show. It's our first YouTube episode and our 19th podcast.
Yeah, something like that.
Hi,
Definitely.
How you doing, brother?
Good. Excited.
You look cute today.
You look cute today.
Appreciate
Super cheesy.
that.
We got the lights. We got the camera set up. Everybody knows this is
Action.
a new setup. Kyle
Plug.
and Craig Show. Plug.
We got our producer in the background, Logan.
Logan.
Turn the camera on yourself? No?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, he says hi.
Well,
All right, so today's topics, we're talking NCAA basketball. Today's Selection Sunday. Then we're going to jump into NFL. A lot of craziness happening there. Then we'll finish off the show talking some NBA talk, MVP race, and things like that. But March Madness selection, dude, Kentucky going undefeated in the regular season, and now they're 33-0.
going up against Arkansas right now as we speak in the SEC title championship game.
Yeah.
Right before the March Madness tournament. So
Do you think they got what it takes to win the March Madness tournament? And go
I'm hoping they do.
whenever 40-0, whatever that is?
Yeah, I'm really hoping they do. Every couple years, we got really good tournaments. The ones in the twos usually end up in the finals, but there's never a clear dominant winner. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
feel like if they just straight
Sometimes you
went
get some
through,
stupid 64th seed coming up.
yeah,
and,
exactly. So
and
I
then
just feel like
in
if it
reality,
was,
they're not the true champion.
yeah. So if you just had Kentucky run the board, then it'd just be different. It'd just be a dominant team
Mm-hmm.
running the board the whole year and then winning the championship because they're so good. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
No, that's ridiculous.
So I think that would be cool. I don't know about you. If you
mean,
want
I
to see
got-
them lose,
I got Duke winning. That's just because Duke's my team.
yeah, because Duke's.
But
yeah.
whatever. No, they're also realistically
Nah, Duke's
have a
really good.
chance.
Yeah, exactly.
Duke, Ohio State are my two picks to go. Obviously, Kentucky is big, but
There's some
going
other good
this
teams.
far,
Arizona.
there's just so much more pressure on
Yeah.
them. And it's just if they don't absolutely win it and go undefeated, it's all meaningless. Like the 18-1 Patriots.
Yeah, I guess so, but it's also kind of different because that's the Patriots and all that work that they put in.
Well, this
But with
40
the new NCAA format of one and done, I feel like these kids don't have almost any pressure. They're almost YOLO with it. You know what I mean? Because that's just how they are. A bunch of freshmen playing ball. They probably all been the best from where they came from, and now they're just a superstar team. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
them 33-0 right now, they're probably for lack of a better word, swagging it up right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just
They're just yo,
whooping
we are
and going through these teams like it's absolutely
exactly
nothing.
we're the best. There's no way.
Yeah.
I feel like there's no pressure because there's no way they think they're gonna lose.
Okay, I can see that. But then they get up against a real contender like a Duke, Ohio State, Michigan State, somebody who's going to give them
Maybe a better, not better coach, but just maybe
a better organization.
just a more grown-up team, not a freshman
Yeah,
team. Maybe
exactly.
Duke has more seniors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I could see where that could be a problem. But just
And yeah, I mean, I
based
guess
off pure skill, because it's not if this was an NBA format, a
Mhm.
playoff format.
7 games.
Yeah, I could see why Duke could beat Kentucky in a 7 games.
Yeah.
There's no way
But
you're
these one
you're
hot
athletic.
games,
Yep. There's
they're-
no way your
they're not
athletic
gonna,
freshman.
ease up on these
There's
teams.
no way your athletic freshman beat my sound
squad.
Yeah, sound squad in 7 games. But 1 game, 1 and done. I
You
feel
think
like
that's it?
Kentucky's athleticism, their players are just way too good.
All right, so official pick right now.
Kentucky, run the board.
Money on it
$5.
here on TV, YouTube.
$5.
I got Duke. So that's nobody wins anything unless Kentucky wins. I give you $5, and unless Duke wins, you give me $5.
All
If
right.
it's any other pick, any other thing
Doesn't
that comes
matter.
up, then it's irrelevant.
Yep.
Shake.
Shake on it.
All right, got you, bruh. And then bring us in the next subject there.
Yeah. So moving on from the March Madness Selection Sunday, we're gonna go into the craziness of the NFL free agency. Got a lot of crazy things happening
Big
over the
names
past week.
moving
If you've
all
been
over the place.
following, the whole entire NFL landscape has just changed. I'm excited
It's
for Madden
ridiculous.
next year because it's just gonna be so different.
Yeah, and it's not
Uh,
even over. It's what, week 2?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's just it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So if you want to go down the list of
Yeah, I
the
mean,
top
some big
free
names,
agents,
obviously, I'm sure you've already heard by now if you care enough about sports. But if not, Ndamukong Suh left Detroit, and he was set to have one of the biggest contracts, I think the biggest contract ever
for a lineman.
for a lineman,
Uh-huh.
apart from J.J. Watts. And I think he was set to get it, but I think he missed it by a few mil. Anyways, Ndamukong Suh goes to Miami. I watched his press conference.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a real good dude. Obviously he's got his questionability.
I feel like
on the
he's always
field
been like that.
and how
Like,
dirty he's been.
yeah.
But outside of that, he was voted the NFL's most charitable player of the year
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
last year, the year before.
Yeah.
Real good dude off the field, and you could tell that from his like speech, and everything he was saying. And he's just happy to be in Miami, and hopefully turn that team back around to like a defensive powerhouse. And I
Yeah.
think I mean, if you're gonna get a stepping stone in the NBA, he's the first piece.
And I think he thought that he was going to stay in Detroit. During his press conference, I think I got a quote here saying that even after they didn't do the franchise tag, and I spoke to Mrs. Ford after that piece, I still felt just great. Great chance of me still being in Detroit, Sue said. So it wasn't until really, really late in the process where I was like, wow, I can actually got to start on a different. I actually got to start thinking outside of Detroit.
Yeah.
So
And I think that was hard for him, especially because of what he meant to the Motor City and what he
Yeah.
meant to the fans there. Because like Detroit ain't got a whole lot to cheer about these days, and then so when you have the number one defensive tackle in the game, in Ndamukong Suh, and you have to watch him leave, it's kind of like LeBron leaving the Cavs. Like that was who they were. I mean, obviously you still got Megatron. They still have a solid playoff contender team in the NFC North. But without Ndamukong Suh, I don't know what they're gonna end
especially
up
when you're chasing around Aaron Rodgers and Jay Cutler.
Yeah.
And and then even the Vikings are looking better. But to go back on your point about money, I guess the Lions were going to offer him $102 million, which would have given him the title as the highest paid defensive player in the NFL.
Yeah.
But instead of signing with the Detroit Lions, he signed with the Dolphins for a record-setting 6-year, $114 million deal with $60 million included. So I guess according to this, that's higher than the J.J. Watt deal.
That's ridiculous.
Which is just crazy.
That man is
because
sleeping on money.
I honestly think J.J. Watt's the best defensive player. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Since I don't
it's just
know
a
who.
team like Miami throwing money at somebody because
And they got the
need
money.
to.
And
Yeah, they need to.
They need to bring in a name. They need to set a spark. And then another team like that is the Jets, who brought in Darrell Revis and Antonio Cromartie, bringing that team back together from when they were in the AFC Championship 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I love that as a Jets fan. Darrell Revis coming back. Revis Island is in New York again. I'm excited. Excited to see it happen. I don't know what they're doing at quarterback. They got Geno Smith and Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's irrelevant. The big news is, obviously, Darrell Revis. What do you think?
I remember I heard someone say something about him that, like he never, like, re-signs deals with teams. Like, he'll take his first two deals that are, like, a huge, like, money grab, and then, like, that third option for the team where it's, like, so much money, like, no one re-signs him because it's just too much on their cap. And he just, like, re-signs with another team. So I think it's kind of funny that he's gone full circle
back to New York. I think that's where he'll finish his career. I mean, he's getting up there in age. His skill is obviously still there with the Super Bowl championship. He did a whole lot to help that team get through that season. Obviously, he had a slump of a year in Tampa, but that's just because Tampa's Tampa.
Yeah,
you can't
Tampa's
do anything
horrible.
about that. But I think this is a huge pickup for the Jets. Him and Antonio Cromartie, they're going to be epic. Hopefully, they can get the rest of the defense together. I know they re-signed Harris for the middle linebacker position.
Yeah.
They're keeping the core together and bringing in some new pieces. Then you got your boy, Julius Thomas, leaving Denver and going to Jacksonville.
Yeah, I mean, he
The
said it
hell is
was.
that?
He said it was for. It wasn't about the money. It was about like not talent. I'm missing the right word. Excuse me, guys.
Trying to, like, reset that team up? Or
Yeah, like just potential.
Yeah,
like
okay.
It was
He
for the
sees-
potential,
yeah.
but like what potential in Jacksonville? In Jacksonville,
Blake
like
Bortles.
unless he sees them moving to L.A., you know what I mean? Like what potential does he see? I don't know. Jacksonville is just terrible. So I could definitely see why that's money. And
Yeah.
wide receivers have always had like a history of chasing money versus
Chasing championships.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so
I mean, unless he just wants to go match up with Blake Bortles. But why would you want to match up with Blake Bortles when you literally had the best regular season quarterback in the history of the game as the man tossing you the ball every Sunday? Like, who walks away from that?
Yeah, exactly. So I definitely think it's like a money thing.
Yeah. Other big
So-
names, you got DeMarco Murray and Byron Maxwell going to Philly. Obviously, Philly let go of LaShawn McCoy in that big trade.
Also, Ryan Matthews, running back from San Diego,
yeah,
also
what
going
the
to Philly.
hell?
So
They're going to be running a two-back game. They were supposed to have Frank Gore. All right, so they lost LaShawn McCoy.
Yep.
They're supposed to get Frank Gore. And then that was just like a fluke. Where's he end up?
he ended at Indianapolis. with Andre
Indianapolis,
Johnson.
right, yeah. And then all of a sudden they get DeMarco Murray and Byron Maxwell. So Philly, people thought Chip Kelly was taking a long walk off a short cliff with the moves he was making,
losing
man.
his mind.
But that's a huge pickup. Obviously, huge loss in Dallas without DeMarco Murray. He was the number one running back in the league last year. He was top 5 the year before that.
But then they went and picked up the kid from Oakland.
Oh, yeah, Darren McFadden.
Yeah, Darren
That's
McFadden.
nothing,
So they
though.
replaced them. I guess it's
I
like
guess.
an old.
I would have been happier if Dallas had gotten somebody like Ryan Matthews.
Yeah, definitely.
But
Probably would have been better
Philly
for
got
them.
both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's epic though. And then obviously,
Speaking of LaShawn McCoy.
yeah, you flip it to the Buffalo, and they picked up Percy Harvin from the Jets. 'Cause the Jets picked up Brandon Marshall, and then they got rid of him. Or no, then they got rid of Percy Harvin. And then, so, I don't know. Obviously, Percy Harvin has some attitude issues.
Yeah.
And
He's
that's been
definitely
an
had some
issue for a
since
while,
Seattle, yeah.
Since Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh,
He's
yeah.
had-
If
he's
you
had
want to
these
take it back
issues,
that
yeah,
far,
yeah.
yeah.
And then so does Brandon Marshall, so maybe they don't want these two big powerhouse, head-heavy receivers in the locker room together.
Yeah.
But, dude, that's like the T.O. and the Randy Moss of this age.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, you can't pass up on talent versus... So, I think that's where the Jets messed up. Don't pass
Yeah.
up on talent versus having
especially because if they would have kept them, then they would have had Brandon Marshall, Percy Harvin,
Eric Decker.
and Eric Decker.
Yeah. And then if you
Yes.
can draft a QB, hopefully
Yeah.
if they can get Marcus Mariota,
Yeah, because that's what
Then
we were
that's
talking
a
about. We were
team,
talking
my
about
man.
the three of them.
Yeah.
And then like a day later,
they released.
they got rid of Percy Harvin.
Yeah, whatever. But anyway, so Percy Harvin and LaShawn McCoy both end up in Buffalo.
Some
And,
other people on the list that we don't have. Some big news out of Denver for my team is Terrence Knighton left Denver for Washington. So that's
Yeah.
a pretty big deal. That's a big hole on that defensive front.
That's a waste of talent going to Washington.
Yeah,
Personally,
because
me.
Washington is just another team that's just terrible.
And they're not getting out of that division. They're not making it to the playoffs.
For Chicago fans, all of us here, Pernell McPhee, I hope I got his name right, left Baltimore, came to Chicago, linebacker,
I
hoping
think
that's
he's
filling
top
a
5,
spot
dude.
since we're not re-signing DJ Williams and we're not re-signing Briggs, right?
No, yeah.
That's a no. So I'm hoping that definitely...
that sets the spark, and like he's the. If he can come in and be the number one name on our defense, I know they're looking to draft somebody in the cornerback position, and then we also got the safety.
Antro roll.
Yeah, on trying to roll. That's crazy. Yeah.
Well, 4 years too late, but it's still better than what we have.
Yeah.
Our safety position has just been horrible for years. So I'm
Hopefully
hoping
the Bears could turn that around.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, with that big name coming in, and then I see your list there. That caught my eye right away. C.J. Spiller going to the Saints.
yeah,
I love that.
especially because you guys lost Jimmy Graham.
So we got Mark Ingram and C.J. Spiller running in the backfield with obviously Drew Brees at the quarterback still. I heard rumors that he was going to leave, and I swear
something
to
about trade
God, I
rumors.
almost killed
Yeah,
myself.
yeah.
I would have cried if they had lost Drew Brees. But yeah, this is a huge pickup for them, dude. And NFL free agency this year to me, and I don't know, maybe I'm just paying more attention versus last year, but this is the biggest year we've seen in forever.
Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. I don't know. It's just like people like Andre Johnson leaving the Texans. Like, why
Going
would
to- yeah.
I can't
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that would even happen. And like
Colts
now he's in
won.
Indianapolis. Colts like top
Raped.
3.
Yeah, dude, they destroyed free agency. They let go of Wayne at the
Wayne.
wide receiver position.
They got rid of
but they
Trent
pick up
Richardson, who
Oh, yeah.
was just
a
I
bust
read a
of a running
stat.
back.
He's like the third lowest yards per carry in
In
all
the
of NFL history
Really?
for like a running back with a minimum of 500 carries. Like total bust.
Yeah, that's epic fail. And that was a
Yeah.
lot of money that they lost given to him. So you got Andrew Luck, and then
Trent Cole leaving Philly to go to Indianapolis.
Okay.
So that's another pickup. An
Yeah.
older player, but he's still
veteran mindset, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
You can take that. Sometimes, yeah, the age has something to do with it, but you take their experiences and what they have to offer to the
especially
table.
because the team they already have. You know,
Yeah,
Like they
exactly.
got blown up by New England in the controversial AFC Championship game,
Yeah.
but they're just building upon what they already have. You know what I mean?
And then these pieces, Andre Johnson and Frank Gore, obviously old, but again, going back to what I said earlier, you get that veteran mind state,
Mm-hmm.
and that trumps age. You know,
Yeah.
that trumps the physical ability because what they'll bring to the huddle. And you stick a young Andrew Luck with two veterans of the game like
He's
that,
just gonna get that much
and
better.
he's just going to get better. Whenever
Yep.
they happen to leave, he'll take what they teach him with him to the
Yeah.
next set of guys that
It's
they
like
get.
Indianapolis. I don't even know how
I
Indianapolis
see
can even do
Indianapolis
this.
being the
They're
Patriots.
so good. I mean, you lose Peyton Manning, and then like you just pick up and get Andrew Luck, and
Yeah.
then Reggie Wayne, who's just been a staple there since Marvin Harrison's been around. Marvin Harrison's out. Reggie Wayne in, and then like even though he's older, you pick up Andre Johnson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's like you
and then,
drop
like,
one,
you had
pick up
Edgerrin
another.
James, and then like a couple years of like nonchalant running backs, and now
Yeah.
you get Frank Gore, who's just been a
A
solid
solid
running
guy
back
ever
since
since
Miami.
day one. Yeah,
So
dude,
it's almost
he's crazy.
like Manning, Harrison, and James Part 2. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just crazy.
I'm excited to see it. Yeah, and like I was saying, I see them being the new Patriots. Not the new Patriots, but obviously the Patriots are going to fade out, and Tom Brady will retire. And Andrew Luck will be that new AFC name that's like every year, without question, you can put your money on the Colts being in there.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, they're in a tough division with the Bengals.
Especially with how like banged up Manning is, I feel like he's more on the back end than Brady is.
Yeah.
So like it's definitely like a Brady Luck thing now. Even though it's so hard to say, I think it's all Luck and Brady from now on. In
Yeah,
the AFC.
Luck and Rodgers will be the new, like, Brady and Manning.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Like, who's going to break the record first? Who's going to do this first? Who's going to break this guy's record? Who's going to be the next dude, you know?
Yeah.
And it's insane. It's going to be fun to watch. But let me flip that subject real quick into NFL analyst Brian Baldinger. he's put out a mock draft today that's starting a little bit of a controversy, I guess.
It's just a little bit of a shocker
It's
to
different.
me.
Yeah,
I read it
I've
and
seen
I
a
was
million
like,
different
crazy.
mock drafts. I made one of myself earlier this year. And normally they all look the same. Jameis Winston going number 1 to the Buccaneers. And then for Chicago fans out there, you got Trey Waynes, the cornerback, coming in at number 7 to the Bears. But the big thing about this guy's mock draft is that he's got Marcus Mariota out of Oregon falling to number 12 to the Browns. See, I
don't even know how
Yeah.
that many teams. I had the list in front of me. I don't have it in front of me right now. But off the top of the dome,
you got the Titans.
I can't believe there's that
Jets,
many teams
and the Bears
who would pass up on him.
Yeah.
I don't know how
There's
the
no
Bears
way
would
that's gonna
pass up on him.
The
I mean, I know
Jets.
we got Cutler, but like how bad Cutler's been. Jimmy Clausen's not your answer. We talked about it last week for
And
those
if
who
he's
were
still on
listening
the
to the
board,
show.
you're just like
You have to take
you
him.
have. It's
If
just
he-
you have
even
to
like
take,
even like teams like the Raiders. Like I mean, I guess the Raiders have more needs than quarterback.
Yeah, and
but
they
got
believe in Derek Carr.
Yeah, and I think he's pretty good too. But like
Yeah.
even still, like the teams.
It's like it's a saying, dude. You take the best player on the board. You know, if you have Ndamukong Suh as your defensive tackle, but there's the next Ndamukong Suh is still on the board when you're up to draft, you take him. You know, you got Jay Cutler up there. Sure, he's our starting quarterback. Bears announced it. He'll be the starting quarterback of 2015. But if you got, God forbid Jameis Winston fell, do you not take Jameis Winston
Exactly.
because you already have a quarterback?
I got
no,
the list.
you take
So
him.
you got Jameis Winston at 1 with the Bucks, and then you got Tennessee, Jacksonville, the Raiders, Washington, the Jets, Bears, Falcons, Giants, the Rams, Vikings, and then the Browns. Like, there's no way he falls that far. I just
Every
don't
single one
see
of those
it.
teams, apart from
I mean-
maybe the Giants and maybe the Falcons, need a quarterback.
I mean, the Rams, they got Foles, but Foles isn't a guarantee.
Yeah.
I mean, unless the Vikings really believe in Bridgewater. I mean, I guess you don't. I mean,
Logan's a Viking fan. Heads up, heads down. What do you think? Do you think Bridgewater is your guy? He's shaking his head.
He's
no.
saying no.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's not bad, and he showed a lot last year. But, I mean,
Again,
Marcus
do you pass up?
Mariota is Marcus Mariota your guy. And, like, the Jets, I mean, like, Geno Smith, what has he shown you?
Nothing.
Nothing. You
Ryan
need to-
Fitzpatrick
if
is
you're the
not-
Jets, you have to pick him up. With the RG3,
Yeah.
did the Redskins keep Kirk Cousins?
I'm not sure. I didn't you probably get into that, but I know that they announced that RG3 is their guy for next year.
Okay,
So
so
Kirk
if they're
Cousins
having
or
his
not,
back.
they've announced that he is their
Okay,
guy.
all right. So I could see them not taking him. And the Raiders, okay.
Derek
And
Carr.
Jacksonville, okay, I guess. But the Titans,
They
I could see
use
the
him.
Titans using
Browns-
him.
Well, they got him going to the Browns. Yeah, I
Yeah.
apologize.
And
But
then that whole
just-
I heard someone say that Marcus Mariota was like a better version
Oh, Johnny Manziel.
of Johnny Manziel.
And he is.
And
Johnny
he is.
Manziel without
And-
alcohol problems.
Exactly. And then plus the play on the field. So I could see why the Browns would take him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
No, I'm
the
not
Browns
arguing
wouldn't
on
take him.
why they would. I'm just
I'm
wondering
saying
why
I can't
11
believe
teams
he would
pass
fall
him
that
up.
far.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
So, I mean, and that's just Brian Baldinger's
Mock
opinion.
draft. I mean, we still
And
got some
that's-
time.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be crazy. I
But
don't know
like with the things that have happened, you're trying to think of all the trade
possibilities.
scenarios where someone would go up to get him. And
Philly.
but they got your boy
They re-signed Mark Sanchez, and they got Sam Bradford.
Sam Bradford.
So
are they
hopefully
giving Sam Bradford that leash?
I
Are
think
they
they're
like
gonna
you've
give
been
him a
injured
year
your
or two.
entire career, but here's the reins to our franchise?
Marcus Mariota's a very good quarterback. Very, very good quarterback. He's not Andrew Luck, and he's not, Cam Newton. He's not a guy without fail, this is the best bet we've ever made.
Yeah.
Give up everything we need to get this man right now.
Yeah.
That's what Chip Kelly said. He's like, I'm not going to risk this franchise future for this guy. And I could see that. Jameis Winston
especially
might
they
be that
proved
guy.
it because trading with the Rams, they're at 10. You wouldn't have gotten Sam Bradford. You would have traded Foles for the pick.
Yeah.
So in trading for Bradford,
Then you would have.
then you already automatically
Get
tell
somebody.
everybody that we're not going for Mariota.
Yeah.
We were talking about the Bears maybe going for Mariota, trading up to Tennessee.
I'd like that. Trade Cutler for
Exactly. We talked about that last week.
I like that better. Because
But
Cutler. All right. So let's
the
say
Bears
you,
have come out and said that Cutler's the guy.
Yeah,
So
but I
now
don't
that's
like
off
that.
the table. I
Yeah.
don't like it either, but it's off the table.
Yeah.
I don't see them trading. So that's kind of crazy too. So I could see why certain teams wouldn't pick him up,
I mean, obviously the Falcons
but
have
because
Matty Ice.
there's no guarantee,
Yeah.
And then I don't know if they pick him up, what do they do with Manziel? Drop him at the first sign of light. Like
Yeah, and then you could see Manziel going back up. He'll be a backup in this league. He's
I wouldn't even keep him,
who?
Manziel. If I had a better version of him, I wouldn't. Keep him.
No, back up to another team. I
Okay,
apologize.
okay.
Yeah. I could see him being like a Tim Tebow.
Okay.
And that's what he is. He's just a Tim Tebow. So he could be a backup, like you brought up that list, in Houston. He could be a backup behind Colin Kaepernick. He could learn how to play from somebody like that, put him behind Colin Kaepernick, because he has that same style of play, but
Yeah.
he plays it a lot better than Menzel. So you put him behind a Colin
Yeah.
Kaepernick in San Francisco, let him learn,
Yeah.
or Russell Wilson in Seattle, somebody who has that same ish play.
Yeah.
Let him learn how to be a better pocket presence. You have the run outside, you have the read option, you have those things in his arsenal.
Yeah.
But he needs to try to learn how to be a quarterback in the NFL with the added skills of what he's bringing from college.
Yeah.
So,
I can see that.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing.
Side note, because you brought it up, they have a veterans training camp going on. I don't know if you've heard about it,
No.
and I don't know if it's the first year, so I apologize if it's not. But a bunch of veterans are going to a camp. It's almost like the combine. It's a combine
Okay.
for veterans. A veterans combine is almost like what they do for the college, and they have like hundreds of veterans going. And there were a couple names that I couldn't remember, but they were pretty well-known names. But Tebow. I heard
Really?
Tebow's been working with Brady's, the same guy he was working with before. I heard
Yeah.
he's been working with him.
That's
I
crazy.
heard that he's throwing good spirals, that he's throwing well, and I heard that he's going to go.
That's crazy.
So, like,
I'd
just
like
looking
that.
at that list of the teams who wouldn't pass up on Mariota,
They might take
I felt
somebody
very
like
high on Tebow when he left Denver, and he just went to the Jets in New England and died out.
Yeah.
But that's kind of crazy to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no,
all
I
the
love-
talk, all the shows of Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless, Tebow,
everybody shooting
Tebow.
down. Yeah.
And he's been out for like 2 years, and now that
He'll
he'd
make
be
his
back,
comeback.
I think it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and then close this up real quick with the Menzel thing. He's in rehab.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why they're going to pick Marcus Mariota, because they don't
Yeah.
know if their guy's going to be out of his alcohol addiction program before the season starts.
Yeah, and they back him up. They
Support him.
They
And
support
obviously,
him.
I think
It
they're
takes
helping him get there.
a lot
but
of guts to go.
You got to get out
but-
first before training camp starts. So
and you
let's-
just got to worry about your franchise. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if the Indianapolis can drop Peyton Manning, then the Browns can very easily drop Johnny
Johnny
Manziel
Manziel, yeah.
for another quarterback.
All right, halfway through the show, let's go ahead and plug our Twitters, Facebook, and YouTube. So you guys, and our SoundCloud, all / Kyle and Craig, just spelled like it sounds, no spaces, no fancy and sign. Just Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud.com / Kyle and Craig. There you can check for our daily sports updates whenever something big happens in the sports
We'll
world.
keep you updated.
We're both hooked up to the accounts, so if he hears about it, he'll put it out there. If I hear about it, I'll put it out there and whatever it is. And then we got a big special sponsorship for today's show.
Yeah.
Today's show is sponsored by
Oranges,
They're Like Lemons.
but they're orange.
Very exciting. So
Very healthy
we
for you.
appreciate
So
oranges for
go out and get your oranges.
Yeah,
Appreciate.
eat healthy.
Talk to the Orange Master, and they're sponsoring the show today. Again, this is the Kyle and Craig Show. My name is Kyle.
My name is Craig.
And those were all our places where you can reach us. Please let us know. You guys have hit us up crazy with the logo for the show. We finally picked it out.
Yeah,
Got
you
it
can
right
see
here
it.
in the front. That was our final design, the blue and the gray.
Shout
But
out
you
to my
guys have
man Jose Unzueta who did the design. If you guys ever need anything,
Hit him up.
contact me.
Plug.
I'll put you in plug with him, and it's gonna be. He's a good dude, and he's
But-
good at what he does.
As much as you helped us out with the logo, please help us out with the show. Listen to it. We got over 100 likes or over 100 listens on our last show.
Within a week.
So the more you guys just let us know.
What to fix? If you don't like my posters, my pictures, if you want Kyle to get a tattoo on his face, we could do that.
Yeah, the more you let us know about the show, the better it'll be. So
Yeah.
thanks, guys, for
Sure.
listening. Thanks, guys, for the input.
And then flip that right back into the NBA.
Flip that, get that.
Get that, Bird Gang. NBA MVP race is what I want to talk about today. Obviously, with NBA and sports like that, there's a million games we could talk about because obviously there's a million games every week. But you talk about the big stories, and it's the MVP race to me. And we're getting towards the tail end of the season here, and obviously there is no better player than LeBron James.
Yeah.
Mr. LeBron James. That's my Stephen A. impression.
Yeah, right.
LeBron James is by far the most intricate and this I don't even know word of an NBA player that we have seen since my I'm not saying he's I'm just kidding. All right,
It's another
whatever.
diss word I don't even know.
That's my Stephen A. impression. I suck.
So
Anyways,
you got LeBron James,
Steph
Steph
Curry.
Curry, Russell Westbrook, who's gone off.
he's insane. I think he broke the
Off.
triple double record. Most
Off.
triple records in
I don't even know how many. I know it was at 7. Did he hit 8?
might have.
I don't even know.
7 is
Let
ridiculous.
us know if he
And that's
hit
in a
8, 'cause
row.
That's just ridiculous.
And that's in a row. That's not even the season.
That's more than LeBron's got all season. That's
So
more
then,
than
like,
KD,
my
who's
question
been
is-
injured.
And
got all
again, maybe
season.
this is I'm OKC fan, but why is it even a question?
Of who's
Kevin Durant
MVP?
is down. Westbrook steps up.
Was
Why is that not the guarantee MVP? He's taken a team that was below average when it was Durant was shaky with injuries. Russell Westbrook was out the first couple of weeks of the season. And then Westbrook comes in, steps up his game beyond belief, breaks records, breaks MJ records, breaks everything. You know, he's shutting the game down. Why are we questioning it? Yeah, Steph Curry's having
they're
a hot
still
season.
sitting at 8.
8th seed.
8th seed. I know they were below a seed, so his streak of awesomeness, we could call it,
Yeah.
has gotten them up to the 8th seed.
Yeah.
But they're sitting at 8. Golden State's at 1. Cleveland's at 2. 10
Those
games.
are all
they're
team efforts, though.
Yeah, no, but I'm just
You
saying.
can't give LeBron. I mean, obviously LeBron's the best player in the
But how
world.
many times has someone gone off on a team that wasn't that good? I'm not saying they're not that good because he's carried them, which
Yeah.
is crazy.
And
But
that's,
you
to me,
also
that's what
have
MVP is.
you also have James Harden at 4.
Yeah, and that's without
Houston's at
Dwight
4.
Howard.
Yeah, exactly. So
They picked up
while I
Josh
get your
Smith, and
argument
that was huge.
why it's not a question,
Yeah, but see, like, and that's
let's see. I feel like at the end of the season, let's see how many games. There are 3 behind San Antonio, 5 behind Dallas, 5 behind the Clippers, and then James Harden's. There's 6 behind James Harden's Houston Rockets.
Yeah.
If he can get them up to 6 or 5,
Then
I would say MVP.
Yeah,
I would be right there with you,
to
bro.
Me, what I say
I'd
is
say MVP.
MVP means most valuable player.
Yeah.
That means without this guy, the team would not have been there.
And
if
since
you, sit,
you have to
I
rule
mean,
in that
obviously,
KD's
you
not
sat-
been there,
exactly
MVP.
And that's why Derrick Rose won it all those years ago, because he stepped up for the game. And he stepped up his game for the team and made the team better all around because of him. Even
Yeah.
though we had a solid squad around him, it was him. If you took Derrick Rose out of the equation, that team would have shut down.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at, you can't say the same for James Harden, but I could say the same, I think, personally, for Steph Curry and LeBron James. If you took LeBron James out of the Cavaliers, obviously they're not the same because LeBron is the best player in the world.
Golden State, though, you really think you could feel this?
Yeah, man.
Golden
They'd
State,
still
if
be
they
number
took-
one contenders.
I don't know about
without
that.
Steph Curry.
He is.
He's got a
ish.
basketball
He's
mind.
the ish
He is.
dude.
No, he is. Yeah, but they have all-stars around him. And obviously Russell Westbrook has Serge Ibaka and some dudes like that. But I'm just
I don't
saying,
know.
I think, me personally, all right, so whatever. Opinion then, I personally
No, I'm with
think
you because
Russell Westbrook,
again, if
MVP.
he brings them up to 4 or 5, then I'm with you MVP because that was crazy. Especially
And if he doesn't, then
KG's still injured, right?
Yeah.
How long is he supposed to be injured for? Do you know? Top of the dome.
no, not off
But
the top.
If he's out, let's say like 80% of the season, and they're at 4 or 5, then yeah, MVP.
Okay. All right.
I
And
can
then
see that.
without, so if you exclude Westbrook from that situation, then who do you got? LeBron or Steph Curry?
Steph Curry, because he's just gone off. You want to talk about Russell Westbrook going off, being on a bad team? Like, Steph Curry's going off, and he's on the number 1 team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he is so good. And LeBron James is doing really good, but Cleveland also is just a very good team. I mean, you see Kyrie Irving going off for 57.
That's ridiculous.
Since Kobe, he's the only person in a single season to be holding the 2 top scoring spots, I guess you could call it, the
Yeah.
top scoring games. He's got 57 the other day, and then he had 55 earlier in the year. So
That's
those are the,
nuts.
the
And that's what I'm
highest
saying.
amounts
So you
of
can't
scoring.
give it to LeBron because he's got an MVP caliber
Yeah.
point guard in Kyrie Irving plus Kevin Love
And I
plus
guess Steph
everybody
Curry's
and their
got,
mother who's on
the
that team.
Splash Brothers. What's the other kid's name?
Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson. But is Klay Thompson really, like, he's not Steph Curry. You put him on another team, I don't think he's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
But he's really good.
Yeah.
And they got other pieces around him. That team is just full of pieces.
Yeah, I mean, like, they are. But do you – I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. They're a really good team, and they do have a lot of pieces. But without Steph Curry, are they or are they not the Golden State Warriors that they are today?
Yeah, I got you.
So, final thoughts. I mean, who you think? MVP. Between those 4, Harden, Westbrook, James, and Curry, who you got?
I'm going to go Steph Curry. He's just so good, and that team is number 1 for a reason. I know we just said that they have a lot of pieces, but he's the staple. You know what I mean? I just feel like, I don't know. I
He's
just
the
think he's
guy.
so good. I mean, LeBron
I
won
got
it when
you.
he was in Miami, and they had Wade and Bosh. So how could you not give it to Steph Curry now?
All right, cool. I think I'll give mine to Westbrook, and that
All
might
right.
be a little favoritism towards OKC, but that's all good. We'll leave that as the question of the day for people watching on YouTube and or listening on SoundCloud. Go ahead and comment below wherever you're watching and
Who's
or
your
listening to this
NBA MVP?
so far, and open for discussion. So go ahead and check that out. And thanks for watching this half-hour special first episode of the Kyle and Craig Show on YouTube.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, Logan, for helping out with the show.
Thanks, man. This has been the Kyle and Craig Show. My name is Kyle.
My name is Craig.
Thanks for listening. Hit us up on all our links, and we will see you guys next week.
Take it easy.
I like sports. I could do something in sports. Maybe I could be like an announcer, like a color man. You know how I always make those interesting comments during the game?
Yeah, you make good comments. Yeah, you make good comments. Yeah.